Alright guys, we're going to go over this purple sheet you got in class. It's going to say at the top using the distributive property, and we're going to be working with numbers 13 through 24. I'm going to go over 3 examples to help you get started and to hopefully help you with any questions you have. Remember in class she said that you need to draw arrows every time, so I'm going to be modeling that too. Without those arrows you do not get credit, and you also need to show your work. So anything that I show here, you need to make sure every problem has, okay? So we're going to go ahead and get started. So looking at this right now, I already see that we have a subtraction problem. So we know that we need to do our leave, change rule. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to leave -8. And remember that x just goes with the 8. We're going to change our subtraction sign to a plus sign. And we're going to make the 8 here a -8. So we did our leave, change. So we kind of rewrote it just so we're ready to go. Now we can start distributing. So we need to take this -4 and we need to distribute it. So here are the arrows that we have to draw. We're going to distribute that to that -8x. So a negative times a negative is going to be a positive. So we need to first write out that we're going to do this in our brain. So we're going to write out -4 minus 8x. We're going to keep going and keep distributing. So we're going to do our -4 plus our, we're going to do our -4 times -8. Okay, so we went through and we distributed this. So we have our -4 times our -8x. We brought down our addition sign. And then we distributed the -4 to the -8 as well. Now we need to be simplifying or solving some of this. So a negative times a negative is going to be a positive 32. And then remember our x follows that 32. We're going to keep our addition sign. So it's going to be 32x plus. And then we have a -4 times a -8, which we just did. And that's 32. So our final answer is going to be 32x plus 32. So feel free to pause, rewind if you missed any of those steps, and go ahead and make sure your number 13 looks like mine. Remember those arrows and each step of your thinking process. The next problem that we're going to work on is number 17. So I'm going to go ahead and write it out. Make sure you're on number 17 with me. So we have 1 plus 2b times 5. Now when I look at this, I want all of my distributive property problems to look the same, so I'm going to go ahead and rewrite it. Remember, it's okay if we switch this 5 back to kind of how we're used to seeing it. So we're going to go ahead and switch the 5 over here, and we're going to just rewrite that. So now we're ready to distribute. So we're going to go ahead and draw our arrows. So we have 5 times 1. I'm going to bring down that addition sign. Then our arrow here. We're going to do 5 times a 2b. Now let's simplify. So we have 5 times 1 equals 5, plus 5 times 2 is 10, and our b carries down. So it would be 5 plus 10b would be our final answer. Just like the last one, feel free to rewind, but just make sure that you are showing your arrows and all the steps of your thinking. Last one we're going to work on is number 22. So it's going to be 4 times 3r minus 8. So again, we have that subtraction sign, so we need to do our leave, change rule. So we're going to leave our 3r. We're going to change our subtraction to addition. And we're going to change this positive 8 to a negative 1. Now we're ready to distribute. So we're going to draw our arrows. So we're going to do 4 times 3r. Going to bring down our addition sign. Then we're going to distribute 4 times negative 8. Let's go ahead and see what we can solve here. So we have 4 times 3, which is going to be 12. And then remember our r comes with us. We're going to add. And then we have a negative number times a positive, which is always going to be negative. So we're going to have a negative 32. So our final answer is going to be 12r plus a negative 32. Using the examples 13, 17, and 22, see what other problems you can do. Remember, if you have that subtraction problem, you need to use that rule. Always draw your arrows and always show your thinking. If you have any other questions, feel free to raise your hand, ask me for help, and we will finish this assignment up. Thank you very much.